Hello and welcome to the journey. We're all on one of those, the goal of getting to some place, and yet maybe your life is like mine and you feel like you're just always on the journey. You're waiting for the arrival to happen, where you finally have arrived at the place, the destination. And yet, none of us seem to ever get there, do we? Oh, we have temporary successes, temporary things where we seem to land at that place we wanted to be at, but most of our life feels like a journey. Sometimes it feels like we just go in circles. Maybe 2021 felt that way for you. Feels like as we're now starting 2022, feels like we're doing the same thing all over again. And so I decided to mix it up. Last year I did Monday Blitz, where we looked at a chapter of scripture each week, and I shared some insights that I gained from it. This year I want to do something different. This year I'm inviting you into my own spiritual journey, the walking through of a spiritual experience, the practice of disciplines and these different activities that grow my spirituality. But I'm inviting you along on the journey to hear some of the experiences, to hear some of the struggles, the questioning, the dialogue back and forth with God. I'm going to invite you into that experience. And I don't know what it's going to look like exactly. This is something that I'm experimenting with, and you get to join me in that experiment. You see, I believe that in these times where we feel like maybe we're going around in a circle and we just keep experiencing the same things over and over again, I have learned in the past, and I want to re-energize myself by going back to the basics of spiritual practices, of biblical practices, of being a follower of God. And some of that is just going into the basics of the spiritual disciplines, of the practices that place us in that spot where God can work. I love how Richard Foster says this in his book, Celebration of Disciplines. He says, the disciplines allow us to place ourselves before God so that He can transform us. And I love that thought. Placing myself in a spot where God can transform me. And so this, at least the first 13 weeks, we're going to be exploring this together. I'm going to be reading through the book, a classic, The Celebration of Discipline by Richard Foster. And I'm also going to be doing a workbook that goes along with it. And I'll be sharing some of my experiences from that, as well as hopefully challenging you to add to your spiritual walk. Not that you're going to be saved by it, but rather that God gets to work in you because you have placed yourself in a space where God can transform. You see, I think that's what this journey is all about, and why sometimes we feel like we're going back through the same thing over and over and over again is we haven't let that transformation fully take place. We haven't let God do His thing. The temptation is so often for us to do it ourselves, to try a little harder. And maybe, just maybe, 2022 is the year of surrendering and letting God do His great work